Hi, this is James Sedley. Welcome back to the Living in Savannah channel. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I know that every viewer out there has a particular set of circumstances that are unique to them when it comes to thinking about purchasing here in the Low Country. Today I want to talk about those circumstances that are impacting your decisions and help you to think about when and if to buy in the Savannah area. In today's discussion, I'm going to break down into three broad categories. Clearly that's an oversimplification, but I think it could be useful for a number of you out there who are thinking about that if and when question when it comes to buying here in the Savannah area. And then I'll give you a sense from those categories of my perspective is on what I think perhaps your timeline should be and what you should be thinking about and doing right now, depending upon which of those categories you fall into. As always, I appreciate you joining the channel, liking, subscribing, and sharing, and please keep doing so. And with that, let's dive right into category number one, which I'll refer to as the ready to buy when the right home hits the market category, and that's pretty self-explanatory. But if you're in this category, hopefully we're already communicating and I have a sense of your criteria, what you're looking for in a home, and I'm actively curating listings for you on a daily basis, and we are refining our search as we go. If not, let's talk so you don't miss out on that dream home. Beyond this, if you are or may be financing any portion of the purchase, you should absolutely have a lender lined up at this point and be pre-approved. This will ensure that your budget matches up with that wish list and your criteria, and will also allow you to make a strong and confident offer when the dream home hits the market. This will be a move from your permanent home. You should also have a really strong sense of the market in your existing area today. If you need to sell your current home before buying in the Savannah area, pending how that market actually looks in your current area, it might make sense for you to have already listed your home. We could talk about timing and options on these fronts, as well as referrals to my national network of colleagues. And I'm also happy to just touch base with you about what that whole process looks like, what the timing looks like, and how we can coordinate those efforts. And that brings us to buyer category number two. This is that planning to buy, but probably not in the next 6 months at least. Maybe you're approaching retirement and don't want to pull the trigger until you've pulled the chute, or perhaps you want to see how the macroeconomic effects of inflation, resulting Fed hikes, challenging equity markets, etc. are going to shake out, and what impact that may have on the real estate market and directly on your purchasing power, or something else entirely. Whatever the reason, you know that the absolute earliest that you'd be ready to buy would likely be late spring into summer of 2023 again, or beyond that. So what should you be doing now if you fall into this category? While first getting pre-approved for a mortgage would realistically be premature at this point, I do think it makes sense for you to get pre-qualified. My rationale here is that it's never too early to get a realistic sense of what your budget is going to be. And with those numbers in hand, it's a good time for us to connect and discuss what it is you're looking for in a low country home. I can help you narrow or expand your range of options as appropriate, and we can start keeping an eye on trends in those areas that rise to the top of your wish list. This way, when April or May rolls around, you're a veritable expert and ready to move confidently when the right home hits the market. And that brings us to our final category. And this category is those of you who are investigating to see if the Low Country is the right fit. Maybe you've visited the area a couple of times and really enjoyed it and like the idea of having a home here. Or you've been doing some internet sleuthing and discovered the allures of the area. Whatever the case, you have an inkling that Savannah, the Landings, or Tybee Island, or somewhere else in the area could be a good fit for you, but that's about as far as you've come so far. While getting pre-qualified is never a bad idea, as I said before, the key at this stage is to determine whether or not the Low Country is a dream or a reality. A golf getaway or sightseeing in Savannah's historic district can be a very different proposition than, say, diving in head first as a member and resident at the Landings. Let's communicate about why you think the Savannah area might be a good place for your new or second home, and from there we can look at some options that fit your wish list and budget in a general sense. If it all still looks promising, it might make sense for you to plan a trip to the area if you haven't been or haven't been to those particular areas or communities that are able to hone in on together. Then if it all still looks like a good fit, you can migrate into one of the previous two buyer categories based upon your timing. And if for any reason the fit isn't good, we've saved you significant time and money most likely, and I might just be able to help to recommend another locale that is a better fit for your particular wants and needs. I hope that this was helpful to many of you and would love to speak with you anytime, regardless of what category you're in, or help you to determine what category you should be in at this point, and put you in touch with local lenders, etc. as appropriate. Till then, thanks again for tuning in, liking, subscribing, and sharing, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.